What's up, YouTube? Awesome Yuga here, and today I'm here with a bit of a different video. I'm going to do a discussion, as you can see in the title of this video, on Yu-Gi-Oh! Breaking points. So I've seen this thread on or topic on Pojo, and I believe some of the other YouTubers have been discussing this topic as well. And as you might know, I've been a bit absent. Um, on the deck profiles lately, and that's because I haven't really been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For well over a month, well over a month, and so this topic kind of spoke to me. And like I said, I don't do this all this often. I think this even might be the first discussion up on this channel. I might do some of these more often in the future since I don't really have anything else to discuss until I get back in the game. Because I mean, I can give you some profiles. I can update some stuff. Uh, I might even have some decks laying that I haven't profiled at all. Um, but I wouldn't really be testing it right now, and I don't want to give you profiles that um, really aren't based on anything. Not even theory at this point, because, for example, the last set that came out, I believe, High Speed Raiders, brought some new archetypes, or at least one, maybe two, whatever. But I don't know what they do. I don't have the time to look into what they do or how they work or whatever. And I wouldn't be able to build my decks accordingly to beat decks like those if they were to become a threat. Real decks that you need to um, look out for when you're going to a regional or a YCS or whatever. And I just wouldn't be able to build my decks accordingly since, I don't really know what they do. And then I can look up some profiles from YCSs and see what people cite, or even look up some profiles from what's the deck called, Cyframe, to figure out what they do and how to combat them. Um, but that would become more then I would inform myself, and that'd be a dedication in time that I can't really commit right now, or don't want to at least. Um, but I do want to keep the YouTube going. I still want to be able to post uh, a video every 3 to 4 days, probably four now, or at least once a week. To keep that consistency going till I get back into game, because back into the game, because at some point I probably will. But right now, you could say that I've reached some breaking point. I don't really see it as such, um, but I'll go into that because so this is actually kind of like an update video as well, because the first 3 minutes were probably more telling me of what's going on right now than actually discussing the topic. But in a topic, they addressed some things, so breaking points in Yu-Gi-Oh! One and maybe foremost is the player base being um, unhappy with Konami, the producer of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that translates in, the product Konami is printing for us, how they're printing it, rarity bumps and stuff. Um, but tournament play as well, prize support. Um, what was that other thing? The connection with the player base, which I actually think they've been improving on lately with the streaming. At least they've been doing that in Europe. But the ban list, for example, as well. Ban list making it so that older decks pretty much can be played, and the only thing Konami's trying to do is selling new product. Um, Now, this is something I want to go into because that is definitely something that I don't mind. I'm an economist. I always keep an eye on money, you know, and businesses. And I see the business standpoint here. Konami is a business and they want to make money. Yu-Gi-Oh is a really really small percentage of the total income of Konami, um, but they still don't want this to cost them money. So YCSs and stuff, they're already um, that's a cost on its own already. People think like, yeah, I have to pay my $15 of entry. Um, So Konami's making profit on these organized tournaments. They're not. Trust me on that. They're spending money on these YCSs, these European Championships, these World Championships, all these nationals, all these regionals, even. Um, so that's definitely not something they're making money on. They have to make money on their product. Um, and to make money on on these products, we have to buy them. And for us to buy them, they have to make it attractive. Now they can either do that by putting in some broken ass cards, what they're doing. Um, but then the power creep becomes that much more than it has been right now. So what they're doing is not only printing better cards, but also um, circulating out the cards that we had that might be as good or even better than what we're getting. But since they're banning the stuff, the decks in total become less good than what we're getting in general. That's like a circulation you have every 3 to 4 months in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, we've actually been in a circulation of like over a year, I think, with Duelist Alliance. Decks in there are still relevant right now. Uh, but I think we'll lose them pretty soonish at this point. But that's definitely not something I disagree with. For Yu-Gi-Oh to continue, Konami has to make money, and if that's the way to do it, then yeah, that's fine by me. And I don't mind that because I think if we were to keep everything, you have more diversity, but also things can become stale. For example, we'd still have, that wind-up loop. Um, and then there's that argument to be made, well, just give us like 1 1080 and whatever. But at that point, wind-up wouldn't be playable. So you either go all the way, or you might as well keep it at what it is now, since it wouldn't really matter. Not on a competitive level, at least. And if you want to play like some wind-up deck at a local or with friends, just do it. You don't have to play by the ban list when you're playing with friends, or you can go to a local and try to convince some people. Well, let's play the, I don't know, 2012 format. Whatever. Um, so that's definitely not something that I hate on, because I get bored really quick with formats as they are right now, and as they have been. I like the circulation, just uh, playing new decks, and also the diversity, in my opinion, doesn't have to be too big. I don't want to have to look at 500 decks. I'm good with just having to keep an eye on like 10 decks. I don't mind that Fessel to be too big or to be a bit smaller. I don't want it to be too big. So Konami, I feel, isn't doing a really bad job as a business for us, the player base. Even with the rarity bumps, it's also just another thing trying to make the product attractive for us. If we have to buy a Ghost Ogre, for example, as a single, $60, might as well buy an entire box. That's just another thing. If they make these things secret, uh, we're earlier to buy product. If they just make everything easy obtainable, why not buy a single? Because if I can get everything I want for $30, then why would I get like the entire box for 60 when I get like a huge amount of stuff that I don't even want? Um, so the point of Konami being a breaking point for a player, I don't agree with. I guess I can see why it might be a problem. Um, but that's just something. Just deal with it. Get over it. You know how this goes. This has been going for over 10 years, like 15 years. Um, if this is your breaking point, after an X amount of years, then I don't think that's really it. It's probably something else. So going on to other points, I've heard about stealing. Now, I've actually been a witness to people stealing Yu-Gi-Oh cards a couple of times, and I never actually had something stolen from me. But that's because I'm pretty careful, and I usually only trade with people I trust, or am in a group with a group of people I trust at least when I'm trading. And uh, yeah, when I trade with something I don't know or may suspect something from, I just keep an eye on them. But what I've seen when I was trading with some other people, there were these two kids, and they were going up to the guy I was trading with, who had multiple binders. So I was looking in one binder. These kids asked the guy for the other binder, and of course he gave it to them. Um, while he and I were negotiating on a price or whatever. What I saw these two kids doing was they were swiping cards out of the pocket of the binder into their cell phone case, their mobile phone case, and shutting it. They were closing it, putting it in their pants. So you have this one guy who's having the binder in his hand, the other guy who's supposedly checking his cell phone, um, just getting those cards in the pants and trying to walk away. Now I caught them, and of course I told the guy, um, and they were escorted out of the building by security. There are just a lot of things um, and techniques, for these people to steal cards, especially since they can hold quite a bit of value. There's this incentive to steal as well. Now, I see this being a breaking point when you're investing hundreds of dollars into a deck and just your entire deck box gets stolen from the table because you weren't paying attention. Whatever, it can happen. You can even just get robbed in your face. Some guy sucker punches you and he grabs your bag and just runs off with it. I don't know. These things can happen. This being a breaking point, I can definitely see happening when you're invested in a couple of hundreds of bucks, and that just gets slipped away from you. You can't reinvest again, of course, because what's gone is gone. You don't have an insurance on your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, of course. Um, you're losing your money. You're not getting that back. Might be difficult for you to reinvest in it. I can see that. On the other hand, let's say you spend 500. Now, that 500 is gone. Now, let's say you spend another 500, you're back in it. So now you spend 1,000 for a deck. So would you rather spend 1,000 and actually have something, or would you rather spend 500 and have nothing? That's an argument to be made. But that's on you. I see when shit's being stolen from you by the community itself. Um, you're done with the community as a total, and you're just, fuck this game. I can see that. So I can see how that's a breaking point. Um, might be for me as well. Of course, I've experienced it since, like I said, nothing has ever been stolen from me, but I can definitely see that being a thing. Um, now, why, while I'm quitting right now, or I'm not quitting, I'm just, um, I've reached this point in which right now Yu-Gi-Oh just doesn't interest me. It's not a priority of mine. And that's pretty much it. It's not really like hitting a breaking point. It's just like I have better things to do, or things that I have to do before I can, get to Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's, I think, the most common breaking point is just you just stop playing at some point because life happens, and there's just not that motivation to actually get back into it because it's fine as it is not having it in your life. And then, of course, when things slow down and you're bored at some point, you grab those cards, and then you get that period in which you're in it again. But I feel like those breaking points are more like you're just on a break. It's not like you're quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! I've heard people say you can't ever quit Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not true. Um, but it's just not there for a bit until it is. It's like it's really stupid, but it's true. So for me right now, I'm in that point. I do continue to do YouTube since I want channel to be there when I do decide to go back, if I do decide to go back. And there's a little bit of money as well, which has been drastically dropping actually, which has been a demotivator for me actually. Last like year, or at least half a year, I've mainly been doing Yu-Gi-Oh and getting product for the channel because it generated some income. That has declined tremendously. Like I've seen a drop of at least 50%, or more like 70%. And that has demotivated me quite a bit, to be honest, because like I say, I'm a money guy, you know. Yeah, that's pretty simple. A huge part for me in Yu-Gi-Oh is trading as well, like day trading. What you can do with stock, I kind of do with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and playmats and stuff. Um, so that has been kind of a demotivator for me, not a breaking point, but a demotivator. Let's see what else is there to cover here. Um, I think that about covers it. So yeah, and then of course, you know, why I feel like a lot of people just stay in this game. Maybe not even, full time, but, just clutch in there is because of the community. Lots of people got in here because of friends, or lots of people stayed in here because they met friends through Yu-Gi-Oh! Um, and that's definitely something I can attest to. Uh, I've had a couple of friends, and we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And we kind of got into it on that way. Then a couple of us stopped playing, and we kind of got out of it. But there's this huge chunk of people, a lot of them viewing my channel as well, who I met through organized play by Konami. So that's a good thing with Konami, I guess. And I met a lot of cool people, good friends as well. We've been traveling through Yu-Gi-Oh to a lot of different countries I wouldn't be going to if it weren't have been for Yu-Gi-Oh. So there's a lot of good things to this game besides the actual card game on its own. And I think you have to keep that in mind as well when you feel like you're reaching this breaking point. If you can call it that. Like I said, I don't really see it like a breaking point or whatever. It's just like uh, there's other stuff you prioritize at a certain point in time. Um, but definitely the people, the community, you know, just neglecting the Steelers and stuff, and the antisocial population that does exist within our community. Um, but the friends you've made, the people you've been traveling with, etc., they are definitely a factor to keep in mind when you think about quitting, pretty much. So with that, I'd like to shut this discussion off. In the comment section down below, let me know how you feel about these breaking points. I'll try if I can find the Pojo topic and put it in the description. Um, yeah, just leave a comment on what you feel, how you're feeling right now within the game, or what you have experienced in the past that was could have been a breaking point for your, or if you've stopped, it can be that you're just watching this channel, but you're not actually actively playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Um, just put all that stuff in the comment section down below. Drop a like if you enjoy these kind of videos. Like I said, I am trying to bring deck profiles back at some point. It's not too difficult to actually get into these, new decks because they're only. Honestly, I think there's just one side frame deck that's actually kind of good for now. So yeah, we'll see about that, and then I might be able to do some updates on some profiles. Um, because I don't think I'll actually be getting like a side frame deck to profile. It's just, I don't want to invest the money in it if I'm not going to be using it at all. So, but maybe I can do some older profiles. And yeah, just leave some suggestions in the comment section as well if you still want to see some profiles of some decks. Um, or give me some other videos that I could do. If you want me to discuss something else, I can see if I can do that. Or if you want me to review something like I did with the sleeves, also let me know. Just give me some things to do as a video. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, leave a like, comment down below, share this video if you want. Check out my Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.